Hey, what's up? Welcome back for the joyful celebration of visual storytelling. I got two grails here, and I gotta show off. I gotta show off my Savage stack. These videos are really for me. I know that my collection, which I've bled, cried, and sweated for, is likely not long for this earth, and be it by flood or flame. And so recording the sense memory of going through, my various treasures is quite nice for me. Let's start with this. Okay, so Mark and Vaughn Bodé. Wow. When I was a boy, there were three things that primed the pump, as it were, for Mark and Vaughn Bodé. The first was Fantasia. Wow, do I love Fantasia. I put it on for my kid this week, and the moment it came on, she was begging me to begging for Moana. So the second is Walt Kelly's Pogo. Here's the first book. This is like this little Simon Schuster, little Pogo fella. This strip is great. It's very dense. Vaughn Bodé took a lot from this and from Fantasia. And the third thing that made this so impactful for me was that when I was like 5 years old, I went to New York City for the first time. And this was 1988, 1989, and when I saw the graffiti, something happened. It blew my mind. 10 years later, I saw Vaughn Bodé's work for the first time in the letter pages of a Wizard magazine, and it was like a huge light bulb went off my head. So anyway, without further ado, here's 20 years of collecting Mark and Vaughn Bodé's stuff, and this is the Grail. Wow, never thought I'd have it. Now I always wanted it. Now it's mine. It's the War Lizards print, 1971. I got this this week from Mark, and it inspired the video. And I can't wait to get it framed. Unbelievable. I have a few other Bodé pieces, and the ones I'll show off here as I tell the tale. I really want to look at the cartooning and talk about the science behind the cartooning as I see it, and if you see things that I don't see, I'd love for you to join the conversation. So here's War Lizards. Wow, what a treasure. Next, it's Whitson #7. This is the Cobalt 60. Was it Hugo Award winning Cobalt 60 story? I love it. This is Wally Wood's you'll correct me. I don't know everything. It's just like Wally Wood's first creator-owned magazine, 1970. So Bodé did this Cobalt 60 story, and Mark finished it with Larry Todd many years later. But this one is cool enough that it earned, I guess, a Hugo Award, something like that. Some type of sci-fi award in 1970. Genocide. Wow. So you can see where sort of like Walt Kelly and Walt Disney collide in this style. I hope. Cool. These are two original pieces of artwork I got from Mark. This one he did at a show, I think, as a sketch, and this one was in a portfolio. Daisy May. One thing that I love about this cartoon messiah concept, I think it's really potent. There's something very potent about this work. Is that when it does invite itself to cross over, and in doing so, and when a Bodé brings another character to life, etc., it pollinates this comics history universe type thing. Anyway, these are my. I like it. Insults up top, encouragement at the bottom. I like it. Both of these. Okay, the Fantagraphics books. Okay, so I got these all in New York City. Maybe sometimes some of them are from Massachusetts, and I don't think I paid more than cover or discount price for some of them in quite some time. Yeah. Got the 3 sketchbooks. Schizophrenia. Rare and well done. There are, this one's not Fantagraphics. And then the Fantagraphics big ones I got, 2 Cheeches, Erotica 2 through 4, Deadbone, Junk Waffle 2, and the Lizard of Oz. So I'm missing a couple of these. But they're so expensive now that they're just, I can't do it. I'm very, very excited that the erotica collection is coming back into print for the first time. And gosh, how old are these? I'm guessing 2001, if not earlier. Let's see. 1997, right? So it's been quite some time. Anyway, Shadowline, I think it's July, October? Who's to say? Shadowline is putting out erotica complete for the first time ever. And I think that there's enough, I think that there's enough demand between comics and graffiti world, the comics and graffiti worlds, that, you know, it could be a good thing. And we should see more Bodé stuff in print. I slept on the Cheech Wizard Big Book of Me, because I had these two books, and I was like, why do I need it? But I looked it up last week, and boy, do I regret it now. Anyway, I still have these. Oh man, it's so inviting. It's so toothsome and fun. It's like a place that you want to go to. I think that the cartoony, Bodé's like this kind of cartoony paste, quicker paste stuff is more, I think it works a little bit better sometimes than the more dense stuff. Look, you get listen. Anytime comics can successfully be silent, that's what I'm looking for. Bodé's form it's very like storyboard. It's like storyboard ready, you know, because the text all sits up here. But there's a lot of pros to that. And I think that there's some, like, not limitations, but it's sort of the layouts don't do any special effects. And I actually do like this one where the lettering is inside and the gutter has this beautiful beefy curves, the gutter. One of my favorite things about this work, this is like a Scott McCloud idea for perspective, use fading. So in this image, the foreground, the only ink is in the foreground. So we're really meant to focus on the mouse, and then as we sort of get further back, the values get like lighter and lighter and lighter to help push things back. In the sepia work, you see that a lot with Bodé. Maybe later on, this is still very early. Oh man, yeah, this is the mature style. Running in like National Lampoon and Cavalier and the like. Wow. It's funny that it's able to use local color and still create a harmonious. It's still the colors are very, very balanced. It doesn't feel local. The sky is blue. You know, the leaves are green. Really nice. I like when he does this, when he pulls back really wide, because most of the staging is medium. Even a close-up like this, I feel, is kind of weird. Maybe as I go through this, I'll reevaluate what I have to say. Oh man, all these classic poses. I think I poorly drew this for some repaneled blog or something like that. Anthony Vukovic, something like that. Color job on this one's so cool. This is the old time distortion trick. Is that it? I don't know. There's a lot of people who can kick in the balls in this. Hat 2. Such a really unique, like, it builds a world. It's like a comic strip, it's an adult comic strip. It's a uniquely paced, uniquely toned world. Here's a great example of that fading, where the trees in the background are just done with color and the ink is in the foreground. It really pushes things back. This painting is by Vaughn's brother Vincent, I believe, 1975. I'm sure Mark has this. He shows this one off. I think he tells the story of it maybe changing hands or maybe it traveling. I'm sure this piece has had some stories. Blarp. The lettering. Okay, so let's talk about the alphabetical anatomicals of Vaughn Bodé, this, that, and the other. So I take it that when the early graffiti writers in New York City saw this stuff or caught wind of it, they were like, "This is it. This is the way to make these appealing bubble letter forms." And I've been writing graffiti, not a ton, for 20 years in New York City. You know, you see these characters all over, and you see, 5 Points is wild. They had the hot air balloon and all that stuff. And you see the influence. And my takeaway from following this stuff and sort of having not a toe in graffiti, but I'm not completely foreign to that world, is that Bodé is, if you're just here for the comics, Bodé is to graffiti what Kirby is to superheroes. Enough said. I think there's an old poster of this. Anyway, we're just one book in. Anyway, that's Cheech Wizard Volume 1. But wait, there's more. There's so much of this stuff. I'm definitely going to have to stop this video. Only got 10 minutes in. That's Cheech Wizard. Here's Cheech 2. Voila. This is the erotica set that, I guess these are all strips that ran in men's magazines. Cavalier and I'm not sure which. This is 10 years before my birth. This stuff is so, I can't wait for this to come back out, for people to see this from Image Comics. So cool. That's the erotica stuff. Here's Junk Waffle. Here was the image that print was on. Move some of these books so that my grails don't get damaged. Oh my gosh, can you even imagine? Here's Junk Waffle. I love to say Junk Waffle, but I've heard it said Junk Waffle. Maybe it's the contrarian in me. Volume 2. I swear I had Volume 1. I don't want to look up what the cover looks like because I know I'm going to be like, oh, I had this book and I obviously lost it, or stupidly gave it to someone or something like that. So cool. The East Village Other. Man, to have been around. Been around Underground Comics. Shit was popping. It's still popping. This is one of my favorite things, is like killing the panel border, and it just like gives it that like extra dimension. This is like when you see those 3-dimensional signs, video billboards in Times Square, and things are cropped in a certain way so it looks like they're coming off of the screen. What an illusion. It's all black and white. It's all Vietnam anti-war stuff. I'll have to reread these the German stuff. Boy, he makes those helmets look snazzy. Freddy Nazi. The energy and the explosions is so cool. Like the methods and materials at play, like it looks like I think it was like illustration markers. I love this like pebbled effect. I think that was just the 1970s. They're like stubby with the long. They smell great. They look kind of like metal versions of like a stubby metal version of one of these from the 70s. You sort of like hold them like this. They squeak. I think that's what's going on here. I've seen marks set up or work that Mark's done or whatever. It looks like they're like illustration markers. You know, all the like illustrators that I knew like growing up, who were like my, like boomer age, had those illustration markers, the big heavy rectangular caps. Huh. Oh shit, I gotta do it again. Very cool. Anyway, so that pebbled effect is really, really nice. And I think that the inking is always done with one of these, the Flare pen. This is great. I get into trouble with this because I try to wash it, and if I try to wash things that are way too water soluble, it just makes a mess. So anyway, Bodé's ability to use not just like full finished illustration stuff, but also, I don't know, I bet it's just a standard 2B, but maybe it's a 3 or an HB or anything. Chime in the comments, you'll tell me. I just love the value work. It's very, very rich. Look at these sound effects. Jam, jam, jam. One of the first times I may have seen this work mentioned was in Walt Simonson's Wizard magazine basic training about sound effects, and they did talk about this. And I think there was Simonson doing a little, I don't know what this story's about at all. Wow. Yeah, it's junk waffle. God, I'm there. This might have to be a two-parter. Schizophrenia. This is like, oh, here's the man. See, the funny thing is, like, I've got, like, let me finish these books, get these out of the way, so I can just show you the comics, right? That's the reason we're here. Here's the man. This is probably one of my most well-loved comics. I should replace this. If you see one of these in the wild, I'm sure it's in better shape than this one, so you'll let me know. This one's great. You know who likes this one a lot is Bob Schreck. He talks about this one sometimes. Man, this one's great. Look at this. It looks like what's it? The giant claw. What's that bird? That bird monster movie? Bodé always has such an interesting way of creating these symbols and changing the anatomical proportions and getting these poses that look cool or funny or understated, or, you know, his acting is always super funny. So anyway, that's the man. The end. Here's some Cheech on newsprint from Last Gasp. I already went through all this material, so I don't need to. Oh wow, it's formatted totally differently. I think this strip is in Schizophrenia of Vaughn. Yeah, Vaughn coming out as a transvestite, I suppose, in print. Oh, is this whole thing in black and white? I remember the strip running in color. Okay, so this is sort of, you know, so you always have to sort of, here's what I'm saying. Because it's formatted with the dialogue in the gutter, it can easily be reformatted for whatever layout you need it to be in. This is the kind of thing, this is the thing, this early stuff doesn't really carry over, this like really great comics language stuff. I feel like, yeah, this like moment-to-moment storytelling is kind of rare. Huh. Look at the screen tone. Great use of screen tone. Wow. This is a space race thing, and then this one goes this way. Huh? This one has sort of like a, not a heavier hand, a beefier line, experimenting with more and more line beef. Okay, great. There's Cheech, more Cheech. One of these, it might be this issue, has a panel cut out of it because I was collaging and I said, oh, come on, one panel won't hurt. I know, it's gonna break my heart. It's gonna break everyone's heart when I get to it. I know it's gonna be in this one. Wow, I don't remember this one at all. Oh, I think these are Mark's. These are Mark Cheech strips. Is this one by Mark? That's by Vaughn. 80. Interesting. Okay. It's this one. Get ready to have your heart broken, everybody. Oh, here it is. Oh my God, what a fool I was. Why did I do that? And you know, this is like a $30 book. Minimum. Here's Junk Waffle. We saw this already. Junk. Yeah, this is cool. It's like the speckled, it looks like it's a mixture of, I don't know, watercolor, illustration marker, colored pencil. This white looks like, I wish I could remember what this white was. It's like not fully transparent, but the texture on the whole thing, it's like an illusion. It's like a Richard Corbin illusion, which is why I suppose they must have fit and worked together so well. This is fun. This is a different format, right? Man, Vaughn Bodé had the works we were robbed of. Goodness gracious. Sacks. No kidding. Oh, look at all these tong balls, all these designs. Very cool. My favorite one, I hope we'll get to it. 20 minutes in. Lovely. There's more than enough. Right, this one. I think this one's also in schizophrenia. No name. Man. Creative obsession. Creative. I mean, the lettering alone has like a graphomania quality to it. There's a poster of this supposedly. Okay, great. Here's Mark's. That's all the Vaughn stuff. Here's the Mark stuff. The mice. I love animal puns and cocaine. Let me have it. Yeah, I think this was a strip. This was like Mark's first big solo strip. 85. We'll see if this is before or after Turtles, but this is looks like it was a hit. But the one that's really of note for me is his first one, which has like Eastman, Laird, Dave Sim. There you go. There's some Eastman, Laird. Maybe Steve Levine. It might not be. Yeah, it might be. Eli would shame me. He knows. He can tell you all these turtle artists. Michael Dooney. There's Dave Sim. This is strange. It looks like the gauge on the screen tone gauge on Cerebus changes a number of times on this one page, and I am curious if that is what happens in Cerebus, because I don't remember it quite being so bold. Well, how's that for visual autism? Terrific. Okay, here we go. This is Turtles 32. Wow. Graphic duo shade. Maybe this is, let's see, is this all Mark, or is he inked by maybe Eastman or Talbot? Who's to say? Maybe it's a credit in the back. Called it. What a comics master. Look at that. So this is actually one of my like all-time favorite books. It's Turtles, what is this, 19? 18. It's signed by Mark. This is the Bruce Lee issue. Really cool. The graphic duo shade is wild, and I think again it's inked by Talbot. Man, I should have brought this book to get signed by Eric Talbot at IC3. Here, Times Pipeline, full color by Mark. Wow, yeah, the full color by Mark is so cool. I think it's like the turtles become like Bodé lizards, like it's into the Jurassic Park Bodéverse. That's cool. Whoa, look at this Dinocentaur. Whoa. That's fun. All these creatures. This is cool. Man. Yeah, I really like, it's almost like a fine line tattoo. So the figures are sort of, I guess they're black, and then the background is all sepia. This is very nice, very exciting, cinematic. Yeah, so these illustration markers are, man, so delicate with them. Such finesse. It's like painting, you know. It's like painting. I guess there's only one issue of this. Yeah, this is like a very Vaughn-esque design. I'm sure he uses this head for some early Cheech strip. Here's the Gyro books. There's 3 of these. One has a white cover. I just discovered it. So if you've got that lying around, let me know. These are so much fun. I don't know if there's, yeah, Larry Todd also helped write this one. And I remember liking it a lot. I also really like the reproduction, like that grainy, bleeding, blended. alcohol marker or whatever it is, the illustration marker. It's really toothsome. Love it. Oh, look at this. Here's some panel. Here's some moment-to-moment silent stuff. That's great. The more things go silent, the happier I am. Because the comics do such a good job. The pictures do such a good job telling the story. Nothing needs to be bogged down in text. This is great, the little graffiti. Oh my God. The Bush Babies, the graffiti crew. So anyway, this is, yeah, man, look at this Frank Miller stuff. Hey, look at that. Gorgeous. Man, more of this. There's a third issue. So if anyone sees the white third issue of this, let me know. I need it. Gyroforce. Yeah, and then the third one was Gyro or something else. Epics. This is Cobalt 60 again. That's it. Sergio. Ah, right. So this is the modern Larry Todd. There you go. Is this the beginning? This can't be. So first they reprint the Hugo or Nebula or whatever it was, award-winning tale, and then I guess, is this chapter 1? It's hard to say. I don't probably remember. Let's see if the table of contents will give me any. I guess so. I mean, if they're doing the, you know, the black and white before, it must be. All right, here we go. This is so cool. The art of Bodé. Next to Jeff Jones. Fitting. I guess this one's signed too. 2009, this one was signed. What was I doing in 2009? Yeah. These are comic strips that Bodé was developing. It was a more, you know, the mass consumption version of what he was up to. I wonder what else is in here. Is that it? There's a lot of this. Wow. Who is this? Jean Bello. Oh. Very cool. I wish I could say I had more epic illustrateds, but sadly I don't. My favorite one, oh man, the coolest epic illustrated story is that I've seen is Tom Yates' Hogwarts. Is that right? I don't know. Painted, medieval, black and white, super realistic render, like hyper-realism painting. I think that's the right one. Here it is. Okay, so at the start of this, I talked about how I know these will all get damaged. This one I discovered, and this already took some water damage on here, so I know that I'll obsessively try to replace this at some point. But this is the, oh man, so here it is again. I've also got the Wits End box set, but I think at this point I can get rid of it because I really only had it for this. Oh, here we go. Yep, start set right there, Radio City. This is a really cool story. This story is it's a post-apocalyptic, this Cobalt 60 character is like Secret Prince type deal. And this guy, Franklin Gothic Green, has talking weapons, but like multiple. Like the shield talks, the sword talks. I dug it. Cool. Whoa, look at this. This looks like it's by Bisley. Eric Talbot. That was close. All right, so anyway, there's a bunch of these. Look, 2 through 4. That's Bodé. What are the other Bodé treasures? Here we go. Let's see. Here's Marks the Lizard of Oz. This is based on Vaughn's, I guess, like one of his last drawings. And it's a, you know, it's like The Wiz, but with Bodé characters. Super cool. I was in college when I got this, I think. These are 2 Roger Zelazny books. I have never read a Roger Zelazny book. I hear they're pretty good. Lord of Light, Lord of Amber World. I've heard they're very good. I think that Saga of Amber book came highly recommended from someone. George R. Martin, maybe? All right, so this, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. This Wrightson book has the purple pictography in it. There it was. And I've seen it a couple of times. It's done a 3-page color feature done for Swank. Terrific. Bodé and Wrightson. Two great tastes. Wild stuff. Yeah, so seeing where the two kind of fit together is really quite cool. And then I guess this Comics Journal special is worthwhile because it has a bunch of articles, Dean Koontz, really, really in-depth stuff. When I saw this, I got this at Forbidden Planet, and I said, I must have this. Anyway, that's 20 years of collecting this stuff, plus maybe 5 or 6 years of just dreaming of it before I moved to New York City. That's it. Like Vaughn Bodé, I'm a Cheech Wizard, never quitting. So won't you listen? Semper Comics. Thanks all.